Good evening, everyone. Looks like everybody's popping in there. Hi from Walmart. Are you on aisle three or are you the Walmart greeter for the day, Pastor? And for the people who were first this morning, Mike, first, Annie Pearson, number two, and Light Raider, you are deterred. Looks like everybody's checking in here. We're going to give time for the room to fill in. Hopefully, you guys got a chance to see my new disclaimer. I was reading some of the rules, and apparently, I'm supposed to have a disclaimer that says, "Hey, this is some fair use material that we're talking about today." West Virginia Pappies, you're a cashier today. You are so special, man. You're so special. I want to be. I want to be. I don't want to. I don't want to go back to work. All right. So we're going to give the room a chance to fill up a little bit here. I'm waiting for the analytics to start firing. It's hard to tell who's in the room or how many people are here just yet. But I think we'll get there. I think we'll get there. While we're waiting for that to happen, a quick note for the replay team as well as the people who are in the stream right now. Today I just finished. Hopefully you guys enjoy the bug out bag update video that I premiered today. If you haven't seen that yet, go back and watch it. It's actually pretty good. It's almost half an hour long. It's pretty thorough. And for those that asked about the uh, uh, the chapstick, well, so the question was butt wipes and chapstick. What's the chapstick for? Well, it's for your lips. It just happens to be where I stuck it. It was in the bag with the butt wipes, so it is what it is. All right, looks like we're starting to fill the room up here. It's getting better. It's getting better. Let's see here. If you know about some recent news, do me a favor, put a headline in the chat, and I will take a look at it if I don't have it covered already. Believe it or not, I actually watch news. I start like researching what's happened around 2, 3 o'clock, and then I will actually like take a break and then watch some news. Just before I come on here, So, and I caught something, and we're going to talk about it right off the bat too, because it's not super important, I don't think, but I think it's a little ironically stupid. Light Raider says it I can be used for fire starter. Yes, you could use chapstick for a fire starter, but I prefer to use actual fire starters. You'll see why when you guys see the video that I did today of did the second asteroid hit? What's up, Deanna? Catitude. Second asteroid. I wasn't aware of another an asteroid hit us. Asteroid. Let me see here. Asteroid. NAS science. Asteroid on collision course for Earth burns up above northeastern Russia. Asteroid on collision set to crash tonight. Let's see here. That was one day ago, but this is 9 hour ago. Massive potentially hazardous asteroid. I guess it burned up. Falling asteroid lights up sky. Russian, Siberian asteroid lights up. Eyes on asteroid. No, I wasn't aware of a second one. I wasn't aware of a second one. Might have some stick deodorant in hand as well for chafing. Yeah, that's a pretty cool idea, Rose. Trump may pick DeSantis to replace Hegseth. I don't know. Did Hegseth drop out? I haven't heard anything about that. I honestly think the guy's going to stick. I think he should stick. Um, all they're doing is they're just trying to find anything wrong with him. Hey, I farted when I was 12 years old and somebody smelled it, so now I can't be the Secretary of Defense. It's a little ridiculous at this point. I actually heard just before coming back on into the live stream tonight that the White House administration is considering what they're calling preemptive pardons. Not like, hey, you did something wrong, we're going to get a pardon. They're like, well, just in case it's a little stupid. And unfortunately, it's completely legal because I think that was actually given to Nixon as well. He received a preemptive pardon because he was never formally charged with anything that I'm aware of. So continue on with the chat, guys. You guys are doing great. But I don't see anything on a second asteroid. Matter of fact, let me type that. Second Asteroid. Asteroid nearly hits Earth, Siberia, and second massive asteroid. Great, we're all gonna die. Let's see what happens here. You know what? Since we're talking about it, let's throw it up here because this
This
is
is the
actually a
moment
date
Judah
yesterday.
Bergman.
We're gonna go ahead and switch on so that you guys can actually see what is going on here. And cha-cha-chow. All right, so this is ABC News, and this is from yesterday. So let's go ahead and see what they've got to say. You know what? Let's make the screen bigger and let's back it up and let's hit the play.
This is the moment Judah Bergman says he saw a fireball shoot across the sky in New Jersey.
It was long and
That's
really, really
interesting
fast. Looked
because
like a flaming
it broke up
log
over Russia, from what I
rod
can
over
tell.
something like on fire and
Is what is the
flying through
is
the
this,
sky.
hold on a
NASA now
second here. What
confirming
is the
a fireball flew
yeah,
over the New
December
York
3rd.
City area yesterday morning, a small meteor traveling 38,000 miles per hour.
And something, when it's moving that fast, of course, heats up and it begins to
Oh
ablate,
Jesus.
just like a spacecraft re entering the atmosphere.
This is the
And it
guy who runs the
produces a
entire
lot of
asteroid
light and
program.
it generates what we call fireball.
NASA says the meteor originated above New York City and passed over the Statue of Liberty before disintegrating above New Jersey.
You expect to see a meteor at night, not during the day. So
So
this was a
basically it
rare
went to New
daylight
Jersey to die.
fireball.
Although Bergman didn't hear a loud boom when he saw the fireball, others did. Stephen Bradley was with his cat and dog.
There was the initial boom, and then, like, less than a second after that, there was a tremble of the house. I have a dog, a golden retriever, and a cat, both of which the golden retriever jumped out of his skin, and the cat just darted under the sofa.
But NASA says the loud noises and the shaking people heard may have been related to military activity in the area, not the meteor.
Okay, so that but I'm curious about the whole
And AT&T, according to the FBI, stolen data includes
let's go ahead and stop that. I can't. It's live. I can't stop it. All right. So, massive China hack on U.S. phones. Is that what's going on?
prompting wind and snow alerts for 100 million Americans at the leading edge of blinding snow squall in Fargo, North Dakota. In Erie, Pennsylvania, roofs crashing under more than 4
Only
feet of
this is
snow,
live.
and whiteout conditions in Hancock, Michigan. Lee Goldberg times it out in a moment, but first, here's Trevor Alt.
Yeah, we're gonna. I can't pause it, but if everybody's getting these messages on their phones, specifically on Verizon, saying that hey, you can be doing like some kind of type of text message, and if you want to continue doing this, go to Google. It's almost like they're pushing you to use Google. So I'm not replying to that message. It's like you can either like you have options in the message itself. I'm just not replying to it, so I don't know what's going on. And if there's some kind of massive attack by China, we're gonna know. We're gonna know. We're gonna wake up, and it's gonna be just like that movie. So, what do we got here? A small asteroid was visible in North Siberia Tuesday as it closed in on its collision course with Earth. It is the first two expected asteroid flybys this week. The European Space Agency issued an alert for 27-inch asteroid. 27-inch asteroid at 4:27 a.m. Eastern Time, with the agency saying the celestial rock would create a visible fireball in the sky, but the impact was harmless. The asteroid's name was whatever, has become Earth's fourth detected asteroid strike of the year and just the 11th of all time. Detected strikes are known, blah, blah, blah. I'm trying to, a space rock entered atmosphere at 11:15 a.m. Over Yucatan in northeast Siberia, creating a massive fireball witnessed by people in the region. Video posted to social media on Tuesday shows the bright, flat, fast-moving fireball through the sky dissipating. It's currently unknown how much, if any, of the asteroid debris landed on Earth. Flyby asteroids are common, so it doesn't really it's not really talking much about this another asteroid. So it'll be kind of interesting to do any more reading about that. Um, all right, so let's go ahead and roll on to the stuff that I actually have queued up. Where is? Oh, geez, that's not it. Where is it at? Asteroid. That's not, what is going on here? I'm kind of, oh, there it is right there. Oh, so this popped up. Outdoor Alley, good to see you, my friend. This popped up just before I came online. So Mattel is being sued over Wicked dolls with porn website link. Um, and this article is dated yesterday, but it was literally just on Fox News. Mattel was sued on Tuesday by South Carolina mother for mistakenly putting a link to a pornographic website on packaging of dolls tied to the blockbuster movie Wicked. In a proposed class action filed in federal court in Los Angeles, she said she bought a Wicked doll for her daughter, who then visited an adult website through the link provided on the toy maker on the box. So basically, there's on the back of the box, there is a like a little write up for the kid to read, to like get him excited about opening the box, and it's basically is for more information, go to the official Wicked website, and then the website that they go to that's actually on the box, it's been verified, is a porn site. Isn't that special? Isn't that special? I mean, who thought that was funny? And don't get me wrong, it is funny. As an adult, it's funny. It's like, oh my God, what are you doing? But from the perspective of a business, and I mean, who proofread the finals? Okay, who who just got fired? That's the question. Who just got fired? Can you share? Yeah, I can share that link, bro. Hold on. It's on Reuters. Hold on. Asking for a friend. Here you go. There you go, ally. There you go. All right, let's see here. Lunch break is over. Back to work. Got you, Pastor. Good luck, my friend. Okay, so yeah, it's just one of those things that is utterly ridiculous. Like, who got fired, and why did this happen? And it's like, was this like they're gonna try and say, well, it was a mixed match, or it was, it was like supposed to be wicked.com, and we actually put wicked.net, you know. I don't know. I don't know. But it's a little ridiculous. And I know what you're asking for, Outdoor Ally. You're asking me for the link to the website, and I have not actually gone there. But yeah, no, I can't do that. Quality control asleep at the wheel. Well, I think somebody thought that they were going to have fun with the whole thing, and like I said, it got past the final read, which is a no-no. It's an absolute no-no. Oh, hey, John, have you read this? Yes, I have. Okay, signing off on it. We're good. Yeah, okay, whatever, dude. You're gonna get sued. This class action is gonna make so much money. It's not even funny. It's not even funny. All right, let's see here. Moving on, more ridiculousness in our world. This one right here, Hunter's lawyers move to dismiss indictment after the pardon. So it's a little ridiculous. It's a little ridiculous. It's updated as of last night at midnight, or I'm sorry, 11 o'clock. And of course, Hunter Biden's lawyer has moved to dismiss the indictment based on his pardon. Now, the way pardons actually work is you've got to accept the pardon. You don't have to accept the pardon. Okay, you have to accept the pardon. The next thing is that because he was actually under indictment and he pled guilty, literally have to, like, the pardon has to be received, and then the pardon has to be presented to the court, and then the court has to be filed by the defensive team, and then the court has to accept it. And so they're like, this is crazy talk, you know. Um, the part where are we at here? And there's the letter. There's the stupidity. You know, where's it at? This is what I wanted to tell you. I think it's at the very end of this. It may be someplace else. But this is just more craziness. This is like, and you get a pardon, and you get a pardon, and you get a pardon. I immediately thought about the Oprah meme about you get a meeting, that kind of thing that we use all the time. Cindy, good to see you. I need to make this chat bigger so I can read this stuff. Um, let's see. I'm going to go ahead and check. Let's go ahead and check the chat. Where are we at here? Quality control. Had to call a surgeon's office during surgery. Number he gave me was a porn site. Reverse the 2 digits on the actual number. That's hilarious. It's it's interesting that there's still porn sites on phones that you can like call, "Hi, I'm Betty. What are you into?" It's pretty insane. It's pretty insane. Okay, so I'm going to move this chat down so I can see what the warning stream's current bit rate is something, something, something. It's not happy with my bit rate. It doesn't make any sense, but I am going to carry on my wayward son. All right, let's see here. Let me realign that chat. Okay, once again, guys, the way this works is I talk about stuff, you write stuff, I talk about stuff you wrote. If you're not willing to do that, then I understand, but it does shorten the stream. While we're talking about Captain Hunter Stupid Stupid, I guess somebody asked for comms 5x5. Good. Where are we at here? Pushing that button right there. Special counsel rejects Hunter Biden's pardon, files scathing rebuke in court case. This is literally where the prosecution has basically said that although we know that the president's pardons moots Mr. Biden's pending and yet to occur sentencing and entering judgment in this case and requires automatic dismissal of the indictment with prejudice. It's if you scroll to the bottom of the article, it says Hunter pled guilty to tax charges earlier this year after a Delaware jury found him guilty of lying about his drug use on a background check for the use of a purchased firearm. And here's the thing about it, and this was actually in the filing. The defendant did not docket the pardon, nor has the government seen it. If media reports are accurate, the government does not challenge that the defendant has been the recipient of an act of mercy. But that does not mean the grand jury's decision to charge him based on a finding of probable cause should be wiped away, as if it never occurred. That's what they're actually trying to do. They're trying to make it so that Hunter could have a future as a non-convicted felon. That's what they're trying to do. But everybody's going to remember. Everybody's going to remember, hey, he got pardoned for 10 years of debauchery, and no one's going to want to touch him with a 10-foot pole, no matter who his daddy is. By the way, his daddy was doing nothing but babbling on in Angola today. He basically fell asleep while he was, in this talk. And then when he tried to give a speech, he was just like, I like trains. It was really, really bad. Very kind and frankly disgusting from a perspective of an American. Um, Outstore Alley says, thus whole pardon stuff, or I'm sorry, this whole pardon stuff is crazy in the USA. This guy pled guilty and was facing 16 years in prison, and his dad pardons him. Is that right? Yeah, that's exactly what happened. It was actually 52 months, is what he was facing. Um, but like I said, they're literally the administration is really looking at doing preemptive pardons for Dr. Fauci as well as not Chuck Schumer. Who's the scumbag that's in the of the House of Representatives? Who's always trying? He looks like a frickin' snake. I'm pretty sure he's from California. I don't know how he keeps getting reelected. There must be some really stupid people who live in California. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and move on to the next thing right here. Sequoia's Sean Maguri. He's, quote, absolute shite bag. Hunter Biden owes his family $300,000 in back rent. Can't joke about it. It's too funny. West Virginia Pappy says, thought be pardoned was the specific crime, not for unlimited crimes over 10-year span. No, no. The way the pardon is written, it is for crimes committed. Uh, basically anything in the last 10 years. Burisma. Anyway, so Sequoia is a company. Sean McGuire posted on X claimed that Hunter owed his family $300,000 in back rent for a Venice, California home. McGuire shared this information just for a where are we at? Just hours after President Biden pardoned his son for crimes spanning 11 years. He then questioned whether Hunter, now pardoned, is still obliged to pay the debt. Actually, he is. He is. I think this whole pardon thing is going to blow up in Hunter's face. I think he's going to try and do it, and I think that that it's going to severely degrade the power of a presidential pardon because somebody is going to take something all the way to the Supreme Court, and they're going to be like, yeah, this is stupid. This thing that you're doing, because remember, they're co-equal branches of government. Okay? They can literally take that presidential pardon and wipe their ass with it if they want to and say, no, this was out of scope. Because all the other presidential pardons, okay, up to this point, there was actually only a few preemptive ones, and there's never been one like this before. So they can literally just say that there's case law that supports the limitations on a presidential pardon because all the pardons that were issued before that, with the exception of like two, okay, were all for crimes. You know what I'm saying? So, old Sean here. Let's see here. Need to find a crime from 2013. There you go. I'm sure he was doing it, man. Hey, listen, he didn't turn into an ace criminal overnight. Okay, it's just that easy. It's just that easy. I'm going to show you a few things here. So, what happens to the $300,000 in back pay rent that Hunter owes my family from 2019 to 2020? Is that pardoned now? Thanks, Joe. This is a true story. Where we got to autism capital mentioned. And by the way, that's actually just a profile. Feel like you have to tell this. Feel like you have to tell this story. So he did. So he did. All right, where are we at here? And so telling his story, he's replying to him, said $25,000 a month on the canals of Venice, California. Yep, true story. Hunter was our tenant in Venice, California. Didn't pay rent for over a year. Tried to pay with art made from his own feces. Absolute bag. The walls were too high on cocaine to talk. Indeed, he tried to pay with a book of art made from his own feces, but those aren't worth anything except when money laundering, and that's what he was doing. He changed the locks and used Secret Service to enforce. We had no access to the property. I have no issues with the pardon. I have issues with Democrats lying and then gaslighting about the lies, and then using lawfare against the other side, and claiming they're the ones lawfare is being used against. On the left, it's lies all the way down. It's pretty interesting, and this is a great little one. The only thing Hunter Biden is guilty of is being unable to correctly weigh crack cocaine on a metric scale. There's no pardon for that. Let's see what it does.
Two point 0.07 without the bag. So how long is 2.0?
Yeah, great job, guy. And oh, by the way, can I make that bigger? Oh yeah, I can make that bigger. Oh yeah, what is this? This is the approximate made from Owasco, PC, and the defendant's bank account. So these were his bank accounts. Oh, look down here. Adult entertainment, $188,000 over 4 years. It's ATM withdrawal, cash withdrawals, $1.6 million. Payments, previous women, $683,000. We're at tuition, adult education, extra $300,000. Health and beauty, pharmacy, miscellaneous retail purchases, food and groceries, insurance, loan mortgage payments. Where are we at here? Anything else? Rehab, $71,000. Wells Fargo Advisors, Roth IRA, 50,000. Credit card payments, $58,000 in credit card payments over a 4-year period. Is that absolutely insane, guys? It's like this is the guy who just got a pardon. All right. It's totally insane. It's totally insane. Okay, so let's go to the chat here real quick here. Let's see. Pastor says, weird. live retail report. It's prime shopping hours, and my store is empty. No customers. We are all just standing around. Maybe it was the asteroid that slowed them all down. There's no telling. All right, let's see here. Let's go ahead and report on this real quick. The end of fake news? News? MSNBC hits new low ratings. The leftist news channel MSNBC is facing a ratings crisis with some of its advertiser converted viewerships dropping to a 2-decade low, according to Nielsen data. During the week of November 6th, MSNBC averages just 38,000 viewers among adults 25 to 54, its lowest rated non-holiday weekend since July 19th, 2024. 38,000 viewers for the entire week. How are these people staying afloat? How does this company continue to make money to pay the people, these headliners that are on MSNBC? They make some of them make millions of dollars a year as a salary. Where is this money coming from? This is absolutely insane. How can you only have 38,000 viewers in an entire week? It's pretty insane, pretty insane. I mean, we really don't have to get into that. Um, there is an interesting mark in here. Tech mogul Elon Musk had hinted at purchasing MSNBC, while journalist Jack Posobiec says he's recruiting investors to take control of the left-wing network. That would be interesting. But the actual joke was Elon would buy it and he would put Alex Jones in charge of it. That would be interesting. Where are we at here? Podcast host Joe Rogan joked about replacing Rachel Maddow if Musk buys MSNBC. I will wear the same outfit and glasses, and I will tell the same lies. Oh my God. Some of this stuff, you can't make it up, guys. You cannot make this stuff up. All right. So this one's a little bit more serious. I got all the crazy stuff out of the way. Hopefully, I don't have anything else buried in there. If you guys have got something you want to comment on, please do. I'll definitely cover it. But something that you need to be aware of, and we've talked about how the current administration is now trying to put as many stumbling blocks in front of uh, Captain Red Tie as possible before January 20th. So this has popped up today. Thousands of federal employees land work from home deal ahead of Trump. So they've landed a work from home deal ahead of Trump. Interesting. How did that happen? How did that happen? I need to make this bigger. And this is a Bloomberg article. Um, Biden administration appointee has agreed to lock in hybrid work protections for tens of thousands of Social Security staff, part of a slew of organized labor efforts that complicate President-elect Donald Trump's effort to reshape the federal workforce. So the key point there is a Biden administration appointee, okay, had agreed to lock in hybrid stuff. The American Federation of Government Employees, that's actually a federal government union. It's not the federal government, it's just a union, representing 42,000 Social Security Administration workers, reached an agreement with the agency last week that will protect telework until 2029 in an updated contract, according to a message to its members viewed by Bloomberg. The new deal signed by President Joe Biden's just departed SSA Commissioner, Martin O'Malley. So he literally signed the deal and then left so he wouldn't come under scrutiny. Will let workers maintain current levels of telework, AFGE chapter president Rich Tour wrote. Under those current agreements, in-office requirements range from 2 to 5 days per week, varying by job, according to people familiar who spoke on conditions of anonymity because the new agreement has not been publicized. Isn't that special? This deal will secure not just telework for Social Security Administration employees, but will secure staffing levels through the prevention of higher attrition. which is in turn will secure the ability of the agent to serve the public. Couture. The spokesman declined to elaborate on the message. A Social Security Administration spokesman confirmed the independent agency, quote, memorialized this pretexting telework policy in its contract with the union and noted that managers can still make temporary changes based on operational needs or performance issues. Guys, so what this means is they've locked the Social Security Administration in so that they can continue teleworking. Now, here's the thing. I don't have a problem with telework. I really don't. Unless your job requires you to do face-to-face stuff. God knows, if you've ever tried to call the Social Security Administration and actually get a human being, if you've ever tried to do that, you know that if we have more people and on more phones, like they're probably going through the computers, then it's going to be better. Now, if it requires you to do a face to face with somebody, that's a different story. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like, you know, IT can fix almost everything by remoting into your machine or by talking to you on a phone and walking through something. Almost. Okay. Very rarely does IT actually need to go someplace and do something unless there's a hardware issue, a networking infrastructure issue. They rarely have to go anywhere. They can do everything from their kitchen, from their kitchen table in their underwear and do an excellent job. But here's the thing. What they've done is they're using this as the starting point because if they can get these kind of things to work, these deals to work with the unions, by the way, that's what they're doing. They're talking to the federal employee unions to try and lock in these things. Then what they can do is they can make it more difficult for people to be fired. That's what it comes down to. Come to work or you're fired. That's kind of like the Elon Musk thing, you know? Um, now, I say they just sell the buildings. I think if they want to do the telework, let them do the telework. You know what I'm saying? Hey, if you want to do telework, come to Washington. Come to our. You got to spend 2 days in Washington D.C. We'll give you a place to live. We'll put you in the barracks. And we'll give you some money to go to the food that's outside the barracks. But you got to spend 2 days up there. And then so we can give you a badge, and then we can teach you about the systems that you're going to use. Maybe it's a week. And if you don't want to do that, well, then you can't have the job. It's that easy. There is a certain level of training that is required for telework. You don't have somebody over your shoulder telling you what to do. So if they want to do that, fine. But I think they need to start selling off some of these buildings. I think that I think unfortunately the government has been buying buildings for so many years that they don't really know what to do, and they have to maintain these buildings. You know, um, knock them down. If they can't sell them in 4 years, knock them down. That's what they should do. No, 3 years. Let's play the left's game. If they cannot find a buyer for the building, knock it down in 3 years. Yeah. See what happens now. See what people they'll be like, oh, it's fraud, waste, and abuse. No, it's not. Can't sell it. We also can't afford to maintain it. It's costing us $1 million a year just to keep this building, the lights on and the air conditioners running and all this other stuff. We can start scrapping all of the resellable items out of the building and we can knock it down. And so now we just have is this land that we own. It's really not that difficult. It actually happens a lot. So I think that that's what they should do. Catitude says, I'm sorry, it looks like I missed a couple of Pastor Sounds. West Virginia Pappy, did you see healthcare CEO shot in New York this morning? Yeah, I was watching that on the news just before I came here. And they're calling the hitman a semi-pro. And the reason they're calling him a semi-pro is because the firearm that he used actually jammed, which means that several times, which means that he it's not the suppressor that was on it. was probably not meant to be used on that firearm. It's probably a different caliber. There's probably a lot of variables, but he was proficient with a firearm, and he did put him down. He knew exactly where he was. He knew how to find him. It was out of state and everything. He's actually from Michigan, and he got him in New York City. So he's either an up and comer or he's a semi pro. They swear they're going to get him. Apparently, he dropped his cell phone. But what I can tell you is that there's a very good chance that is that's what do they call that, the canary or something like that. It's like when you like he could have stole that cell phone out of somebody's pocket in the mall, and now it's your completely distracts you from the fact that he's already over state lines and gone. You know what I'm saying? You could put up frickin' your electronic frickin' box all over the place and find out whose cell phones were in there at that time. But yeah, it's not going to mean anything. Let's see here. The guy who sued Pepsi years ago for a mouse in the Mountain Dew, they now say it's impossible. It would have broken down in 30 days. He bought 67 days after being made. Well, I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is. Let's see here. West Virginia Pappy say put homeless vets in it. I mean, that could be a thing, but you still have to maintain the building. You still now you've got to have it's never really that simple, man. Maintaining the building is maintaining the building. Now you got people coming in and out of it. Now you've got to completely refurbish it to turn it into dwellings instead of office space. You know, there's and money has to be spent to make all that happen. And then you've got to maintain the building. So I love the idea, but and in fact, you could probably get the homeless vets to do some of the work. Some of them are probably qualified to do it. But in the end, that's a project that'll die because it has no. The idea is that we need to stop spending money, not create more things to spend money on. At least it's spent usefully. Yeah, it is. I'm tracking with you, man. Like I said, I agree. But right now, the idea is to stop spending money. I think our homeless vets could be served much better by support programs that actually help them using money that's already set aside for those things, or using money. I mean, we do not need to continue funding the arts. Okay, it's absolutely ridiculous. Some of these places get so much money for the arts that it's absolutely ridiculous. The arts will continue. That's why they call them starving artists. Let them starve for a while. Right now, they're high on the hog and getting fat. Let's see here. We're going to go ahead and let's change channels here. I wanted to talk to you very briefly about something that's coming here, and I'm going to show you the back part of it. So let me click on here. So we're going to do this. If you guys didn't know this, so basically, Kash Patel, Trump's picks to lead FBI, has been targeted in an Iranian hack, and the actors have accessed at least one of his communications. This was posted by CNN. And then, ironically, Jess Kelly posted step one, announced Kash Patel has been hacked by Iran. Step two, the FBI, who did the actual hacking, leaks the damaging stuff to the media. Step three, the media runs with the smears, and the Republicans in the Senate use that as an excuse to reject Kash. Will it happen? I don't know. But here's the thing. I think he's clean. I think Kash Patel is squeaky clean. I don't think that he could have been running his suck for so long and writing books and talking about the thuggery that's happening within the Department of Justice and get away with it if he had skeletons in his closet. I think the guy's squeaky clean, and I think that all it's going to be is it's just going to be a battle in the Senate confirmation, and then he will be approved. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think it's gonna be a problem for him. All right, let's see here. Something happened in China. We're gonna watch the first part of this video, and just so you know what it's gonna, and then we're gonna fast forward it because there's no reason to watch a 9-minute video. What's up, Maynard? Good to see you. Make sure you subscribe. All right, so this actually happened. Let's make the screen bigger, cha like that, and we're gonna watch the first minute or so of it, and then I'm gonna fast forward it to the really interesting part.
Blasting your speakers this loud in the middle of the night? Are you crazy or what?
On November 28th, around midnight Beijing time, residents across Yunnan province were abruptly awakened by loud broadcasts of Xi Jinping's quotations echoing through the night sky. In some areas, these broadcasts lasted nearly half an hour, startling people from their sleep. The unexpected nature of these announcements led some to fear a major incident had occurred, while others criticized it as a resurgence of cultural revolution-era practices. Chinese authorities attributed the incident to an operational error on the provincial emergency broadcasting platform, but responses from various broadcasting departments have been inconsistent.
What the heck? It's midnight, and suddenly the loudspeakers in the neighborhood start blasting Xi Jinping's cultural thoughts. Seriously, what's going on? This is way scarier than running into aliens or ghosts. Freaking haunted, I swear.
What is this nonsense?
Even urban villages have their own stories. But have you ever experienced the party's broadcast blaring at midnight? Just listen to this.
In the early hours of November 28th, around midnight,
Okay,
numerous
so it's
videos
going to
on
start playing
platforms
a
like
different
Douyin.
little in kind of a loop. What I wanted to show you guys is right at 6:30. Testing phase. Let's see here. Emergency broadcast. Where are we at here? There we go. So here we go. Let's watch this.
Reports have since been removed from the internet.
I went out shopping today and noticed that all the entrances to the shopping streets were full of people wearing helmets and armor. Even the security guards at our door had helmets on.
Today on the Beijing subway, I had an unopened bottle of water in my bag. Normally, in Jiangsu, there's no need to check if the bottle is sealed. If it's opened, the security in Jiangsu would simply ask you to take a sip. But in Beijing, even sealed bottles have to be checked. How do they check? They have a device that scans the bottle to determine whether it's actually water inside.
Recently, multiple random attacks have occurred in China, sparking panic among the authorities, who are reacting as if facing a major threat. Public security and special police forces have been deployed on the streets in many parts of the country to maintain stability. Experts believe that the continuous protests across various regions in China could potentially ignite widespread public anger, which is what the Chinese Communist authorities fear the most. In response, the Central Political and Legal Affairs Commission, the Ministry of Public Security, the Ministry of Human Resources and Social Security, and other departments have urgently issued directives calling for stability maintenance. Armed police and SWAT officers have been spotted outside schools in several areas, maintaining order. For example, on November 27th, armed police were stationed outside a school in Huainan, Anhui Province. Some netizens questioned the effectiveness of all this surveillance, the countless security cameras on every corner and the strict checks at subway stations, hospitals, and malls. They asked, does this actually help? Treating the people like terrorists while forgetting that the real bandits are them. Here's another example. Armed police stationed outside Hedong Experimental Elementary School in Tianjin. This is armed public security and SWAT officers patrolling the streets of Shanghai.
It's all police everywhere. What's going on this time?
In addition, SWAT officers have been deployed to various schools and other sensitive locations, highlighting the unease and perceived threats within Xi Jinping's administration over recent social revenge incidents. Public opinion widely agrees that the severe inequality in the CCP's privileged society, compounded by a deep economic recession, soaring unemployment rates, and overwhelming debt such as mortgages, has fueled intense public resentment. This has led to frequent incidents of harm within the lower classes. Independent commentator Kai Xinkuan noted that the Zhuhai car ramming incident shocked the Chinese leadership because its nature has shifted. The anti-foreign sentiment once incited by the CCP has now turned inward. At its core, this reflects the CCP's fear of losing its hold on power.
Okay, and as you can see, there's stuff going on in China, and here in the West, no one knows what is happening over there, by drones over New Jersey. Yeah, actually, let me talk about that in a second, West Virginia, Pappy. But the things that are going on in China, it's just like, so these people have lived under the control of the government for so long. They actually have social credit scores. They can actually be stopped from getting on trains because their score isn't high enough that it limits their ability to move around. Some stores they can't go to. Some things they can't buy because they have a social credit score that's too low. because they speak out or whatever it may be. But what we're seeing is that more and more of these people are starting to like, hey, this is getting a little tiresome. Like, why is the military here? Why are the cops here? Why is it's like what is happening and their government isn't explaining to them in any way what's actually happening. In fact, there was an entire town that just kind of disappeared, but we're not going to cover stuff like that. West Virginia Pappy says unidentified drones over New Jersey. Yeah, that's been happening for about a week now. The video actually came out yesterday morning, and the drones have they do not have. They're actually it's so the drones are weird, and I've seen the videos of them flying around. They all have the same light configuration, which is kind of odd when people are like aliens, right? But aliens don't have propellers that we know of anyway. And they're large, and no one really knows what they're doing. And they're flying low enough that the FAA can't track them. And what's weird to me about them is the light configurations that are on the bottom of them. There's two blinking lights, one on each of the wing, what appears to be the wingtips. And there's a funny light in the middle, kind of given that whole a triangular. It's just a solid light. Um, and they're flying all over the place. People are getting concerned. The FBI has been involved. And I'm sure that they're going to figure out what these are. Now, here's the thing. If they don't figure out what they are, it's the government. It's that easy. It's that easy because it doesn't take a rocket scientist to sit out and go, "Oh, there it is," you know, and then take it down over a field with a frickin' they're basically EMP guns is what they are. But using some kind of technology designed to take down drones so that they can get their hands on it, find out what it is. No, if they do try to take it down and it just goes straight up through the atmosphere, we know they're aliens. But it will most likely fall to the ground, and they'll be able to snatch this drone up and figure out its origins and go find some people for flying drones they shouldn't have been flying because there's actually laws against it. All right, guys. Let's see. We're gonna be moving on. We still got about 15 minutes left, so we're doing okay. Some interesting stuff I think you should see right now. The title of this one is "Visualizing Ukraine's Collapsing Front Lines Amid the Steady Russian Onslaught." So they're always talking about the liberation of Donbass, and they're always talking about the Russians taking lands and the Ukrainians holding their ground. But apparently, even after they give them $725 million more in aid and 680 million in Ukrainian aid is on the way as well. This is starting to happen. I got to warn you, there's a volume issue with it, so it may be a little, and it's very kind of Russian. Um, Techno. All right, so I'm gonna hit the play button, and you're gonna lose your mind for a second. By the way, this is Ukraine right here. You can't see. You can see my cursor. Good. Ukraine is the gray stuff. You ready? Russia's the tan stuff. Ukraine is the gray stuff. By the way, that's the date. October. November. Yeah, that just happened. So all this pretending that we're giving them money to defend Ukraine has been just like eaten up by the Russians. Okay. Um, this is all going to have to come to a peace treaty. They might get a few things back here and there, but the Russians are going to keep all this land. They're not giving it back. Too many lives have been lost. They're not going to give this back. Otherwise, it'll just be a scar that the Russian military will hold forever. They will hate Vladimir Putin if they give this land back. So, just an FYI. All right, moving right along because we are running out of time. Thought you ought to know, by the way, the French government is set to collapse as MPs begin a debate on a no confidence motion against Prime Minister Barnier. France's lower house of parliament Wednesday started debating two no confidence motions in a session widely expected to topple the minority government of Prime Minister Michel or Michael, they call it Michel Barnier, in a historic vote. The ousting of the Barnier government after just 3 months in office would deepen the country's political crisis and present President Emmanuel Macron with the inevitable choice of picking a viable successor with over 2 years of his presidential term left. The National Assembly lower house debated two motions brought by the hard left and the far right in a standoff over next year's austerity budget after the prime minister on Monday forced through a social security financing bill without a vote. That doesn't sound like tyranny at all, does it? I think that I think Bernier is on his way out the door after only 3 months. People are like, "You gotta go, bro. You gotta go." All right, and I think that's going to be about it. We do have asteroid. You know what? Let me click the news button. Asteroid in the news. Asteroid. And let's see if we can get some variables in here. United States search. That's what I hate about Brave. It doesn't give you the ability to like change the timeline. Let's see. To crash tonight, 9 p.m. This is 1 day ago. This is 10 hours ago. Asteroid collision course with Earth. Of northeastern Russia. Let's play that. Oh my God. See that? That was amazing. Of course, there could be a big one that's going to come crush us, right? But there's no telling. There's absolutely no telling. All right, guys. Oh, I want to thank you all for hanging out with me tonight. There's only one more day evening live streams at which time I will put a poll in the YouTube host. As usual, do me a favor, guys. Make sure you hit that thumbs up on the way out the door. If you're watching for the first time, please make sure you hit that subscribe button. All these things actually help. Check your bells as usual. I know a lot of you don't do it, but now's a good time to do it. And if you want to support the channel, there's ways of doing it. There's links below. You can actually join the membership. Admin note. Um, I'm I'm in the process of doing the Wire, our monthly. We haven't done it in a while. It's my fault. I honestly just forgot about it. But if you guys don't know, especially of the members, we have a Wire backup in case Discord ever goes down. We do a monthly comm check. Some of you have checked in, some of you have not. If you are a member and you have not checked in on Wire or do not have access to Wire, you need to please message me via the Discord or send me a message at contactlocalprepper.com. I'll verify who you are and we will get you access to both platforms. Basically, Wire is our secure platform. That is actually end-to-end encryption, goes through Sweden, I believe. It's either Sweden or Switzerland, one of the two. The feds have very limited access to it, and we only use it we only have it because Discord is technically controlled by lefties, and I don't mean people that are left-handed or red-haired. I mean like left-leaning people. And once they figure out at some point that you're not following their agenda, even though we never break into their rules, they'll just turn it off. I know several Discord channels that have been turned off just because they talk about things similar to what we talk about. So. All right, guys. The live stream for tomorrow is all set. You should have been notified. Let me drop. Let me drop a link in there for you. Let's see. We're gonna go ahead and let me get this. Get a shareable link. Oh, that's not it. What is going? Well, I guess it's not visible on this computer. So the link is actually set up for tomorrow. And I guess go find it or something. I'll put it in the Discord. All right, guys. Until the next time, stay safe, have a great day, and I shall see you tomorrow morning. Good night. It's 9 p.m. Do you know where your children are?